And here we go again, challengers, with the Week 3 mostly preview show. Let's start by kicking it back to Thursday. Josh Allen was the usual chaos agent with elite arm, legs, and a patented stare down at defensive coordinators. As a matter of fact, he targeted his tight ends more than. Uh, nope. Nope, not getting canceled today. Next slide. Between him and Buffalo's bruising run game, was the only thing that seemed to slow down them was the missed field goal by the Bills. Miami's running game between the rotation of Achane and rookie Ollie Gordon II produced some life, while Tua was Tua. I would say the biggest defensive player on Thursday was the Bills' Terrell Bernard, and special teams player was Dolphins' Zach Zeeler for extending the Bills' drive. I was going to give the Thursday offensive award to Josh Allen or James Cook, but the FCC already awarded that to Jimmy Kimmel. The Dolphins flew into Buffalo and left with fewer wins and more existential questions. Bills 31, Dolphins 21. So week 3 is headlined not by who is starting, but who isn't. 5 teams will have their starting quarterbacks out. Meanwhile, other teams have key players out worth considering before locking in your picks. With that in mind, let's dive into the carnage. I mean the matchups for week 3. So Michael Penix has the Falcons looking all right and primed to be the number 2 to Tampa Bay in the weak NFC South. Meanwhile, the Carolina's offense is more banged up than a round of traffic attack on a burnout video game. So on that note, I'm picking the Falcons. Man, they don't make hard-nosed football like this anymore. Then again, the Browns haven't been like that in a long time. For the Packers, Love and Kraft haven't been this hot of a thing in the NFL since the Patriots owner got a massage. I was never going to use this as my survivor pool pick. I'm easily going with the Packers. Suddenly, the Texans are struggling on offense. However, I feel like it's worth pointing out that these losses are to the Rams and the Buccaneers, who, by the way, lost with 6 seconds remaining. So both teams won their division last season and continue to look good going into 2025. The Jaguars, however, beat up the struggling Panthers. Odds makers are favoring the Jags. I, however, am picking the Texans to rebound. It's a battle of the young guns. It's going to be Burrow versus McCarthy. No, actually, scratch that. They're missing. So instead, we're getting Jake Browning versus Carson Wentz. So I guess for the sakes of keeping this game interesting, it's Jamar Chase versus Justin Jefferson. Either way, I'm picking the Vikings, who are 6-0 at home against the Bengals all time. The story here. I know Aaron Rodgers is sick of all the age references, but when he was drafted in April of 2005, his opponent Drake May was almost 3 years old. Without much narrative besides that, I believe experience will be the edge that puts the Steelers over the top on this one. So we got 2 excellent teams here at play with equal reasons to believe their teams is better. It's like a game of NFL chess between 2 masters. Who flinches and makes the wrong move? Who's bold enough to make that move that will keep the team undefeated? Personally, I'm picking the Eagles to get another win, making it 19 in their last 20 games. There's no 2 ways of putting this one. The Buccaneers are better on every point of the game. And add to it, it features our streak of the week, being that the Jets have lost their last 10 games against the NFC South, dating back to 2013. No brainer here. I'm going with the orange creamsicle wearing Bucks. From one ugly game to another, from an ugly Colts win to a pretty easy one, I expect the Colts to set the tone early with their passing game, then grind down the Titans' will with the run game in the end. If it isn't obvious, I'm going with the Colts to go 3-0. So despite Mariota starting in place of Daniels and Eckler out with an Achilles injury, the Commanders are in good hands. This week, W stands for Washington. So about 860 miles south of Autzen Stadium, two former Oregon Ducks will take to the air at SoFi Stadium with key defensive players out. It will be down to Sertan and James to ground that aerial attack. After convincing wins over a quality team, the momentum is still securely in the Chargers' control. You know what? I'm not even going to try with this one. The Seahawks, just because they're the team that's the least bad. So Prescott and Williams will be feeling like they're playing dodgeball and that they'll be feeling like they can throw the ball anywhere down the field and make the defense avoid the ball. The Bears have allowed the most passing touchdowns, and the Cowboys have allowed the third most passing yards through 2 weeks. I'm going with the Cowboys simply for the better receiving core. You ever see two and 0 teams and didn't realize they were both 2 and 0? Maybe in this case, it's because they both beat the Saints, one beat the Panthers, and the other beat the Seahawks. Well, one of these teams are going to be 3 and 0 for having beat three bad teams, and I believe that team's the 49ers. And you know how I just mentioned that there can be two bad 2 and 0 teams? Well, I've also seen good 0 and 2 teams. Uh, one of these 0 and 2 teams is 7 and 0 when hosting the other, and the other team is the Kansas City Chiefs. I have to admit that last week Russ can cook in the sense that he nearly serves up something perfect only to be upstaged by someone who serves something a little better. The Giants may have a more seasoned chef with fresher ingredients, but the Chiefs have the better kitchen. So that brings us to easily the most anticipated game of the week, which was heralded in the Ravens' Darkness Falls reveal, which revealed that they will be wearing their all black uniform combination, while Detroit's offense versus the Lions' defense will be interesting. Check that. Rewind. While Detroit's offense versus the Ravens' defense will be interesting, the game will be won based on the battle between the Ravens' offense and the Lions' defense. For me, the advantage goes to the Ravens. So that puts a wrap on Week Three's lineup. But don't take my 64% word for it. Drop your picks at the link listed on your screen. If there's one thing to take away, unbeaten at 2 and 0 doesn't mean invincible. 0 2 doesn't mean they're dead yet. Join us next week where we'll know what teams will be playing, but Chaos will determine who will be wearing their jerseys. If you liked this, smash the like button, comment, and subscribe so that you can feel superior watching other teams fall apart. Stay Challenger strong, and we'll see you again next Sunday.